Hello everyone, today I'm working on a lifelike Sd7 or Sd9. It's going to be the same. Somebody asked me to do a video on these, so that's not a problem. That's going to be fun actually. So these, they look pretty good to be honest. And although the truck should be painted gray or silver, other than that, it's a nice looking engine. And also easy to convert to microtrains if you want to. For me, it's not really necessary. It's pretty much the same drive system as a E8 or E7, where they have only the outside wheels powered, the middle wheels is just an idler. On the E7 and the E9, the real engine is like that. On the Sd7, Sd9, the middle one should be powered just like the Atlas. At any rate, I'm going to remove the shell first. Now this is a plastic frame, it's not a split frame. So there's little tabs here underneath here that you have to pull on. So I'm going to get my screwdriver. So basically anywhere under here that you can get your screwdriver, and just pull on it very gently. I'm going to work on it off camera. So go easy on it because of the handrails. By the way, the side handrails can come off if you want to paint it, and the front handrails are part of the body. So this little guy, it's actually a good puller because it has really heavy weights on it. So my weights are sticking to the shell, that's okay. And it's also got some nice flywheels. So yeah, it's got some heavy weights on it, which will help it pull a bunch of cars. They run pretty good, to be honest. You can see it's got a lot of lubrication, which I think I went a little overboard with it. So then you can take the two weights out. So this is not directional lighting. It's like in the 50s. But the engine runs well enough. It's not too much of a problem. So for lubrication, all you need to do is do a drop at the end of each worm gear. And we'll work on the trucks now. The trucks are held back by this pin here. So that's all you need to do is push back the pin just a little bit. So unlike, let's say, unlike the, I'm just gonna get my camera to refocus here. Unlike the F40PH I did before, these are not welded in to the wiring. There's an actual contact plate, two little contact plates on the side here that go under here, communicate with these, and this brings power to the motor by some wires. So it's a hybrid, you know, it's not the 1950s, but not quite a modern engine. So to get to the wheels, all you gotta do is remove the side frames, which are pretty easy to remove. There's just a tab at each end. So if I can get the camera to focus, there's just a little tab at each end, and you just get it over the tab, and you can remove the frames, the side frames that way. That will give you enough room to get to your wheels. Yeah, now that was easy. So here's my wheels. So these, you just clean them with your rag. So we'll just clean these with my rag. That was pretty easy to get at. So I'll clean up all the wheels and we'll put everything back together. So the wheels sit on this brass plate, and they contact the the electricity that way. And it's just that easy. There's a little gear here that it can be removed. Mine seems to want to stay in there, that's fine. But it may also drop. Don't forget the middle wheels are unpowered, which definitely makes the Atlas superior if you like this type of engine. I had like 2, 3, 4 of them. I kept the Union Pacific, I sold the other ones and got Atlas. So the truck, there's only one way that it can go. Make sure that my side frames are in their pins. You can still test these with your finger. Now notice how my little gear moves back and forth. I'm going to use this principle in order to get my pin, the pin that holds them with the frame. I'm going to use that principle to get my pin in, just to adjust that little gear on top. Is there a direction that these go? I'm going to follow the way they were put together before. So now that that's in, let me show you. I'm going to use my wheels to help locate the gear properly. There. So that will help me to get the pin back in. Altogether, like for the money, if you enjoy this engine, it's a fun engine to have. Like I said, I sold all of mine to get Atlas. That's how I feel about them. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun. Like I had a bunch of GP38s that were the old style like this, and I sold them. I don't completely regret it, but at the same time, if I still had them, I would probably run them. I don't hate them. So you put your two weights back on. Notice the coupling from the motor to the worm gear. It's very simple. It's just a tube, just a rubber tube, but it works. So there's no need to do anything to it. The E8s and E9s are the same. So as you put your headlight back on, just be mindful, there's 2 notches in there for the wiring. And it will not have a rear light. So now I'm just gonna put the shell back on. Sd7s, Sd9, remember, the air tanks go to the front. GP7, GP9, the air tanks go to the back. So I'll just put that back together. So it's not particularly hard to work on this little guy. And the body will snap in, you'll hear it snapping. And that, take your time with it. It's very important that you get it perfectly. I'm gonna keep working on that off camera. So now I've got both ends snapped in properly. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.